Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Beacon Board of Education. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Larry Cohen.
Here.
Betsy Dennis. So, yeah, wait. Jennifer Edge. Christine Galbo. Here. Frank Garnett.
Here.
Georgia Patchen. Here. Mary Beth Stevens. Excused. Bill Zau.
Here.
Melissa Thompson. Here. Mr. Hillwood, if you'll review the fire exits.
The fire exits are still behind you, one to the left and one to the right.
Would you like to do the workshop?
Well, we had all kinds of great plans for the workshop tonight. And there's a very exciting presentation on energy performance contracts. In college, we used to assign our professors ratings based on the MAGO scale, M-E-G-O. Makes eyes, glaze over. And even though we have someone who's at the very top of the field, I wouldn't subject you to that initially, so I think we're going to move right to the fun part. Well, that's the cake. The fun part is the recognition of a fine Board of Education. We have a representative here, the advisor from the Student Council, Alexa Maranaccio, who will be very happy to come forward and make a presentation.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alexa Maranaccio, science teacher at Beacon High School, also Student Council advisor. And Student Council has made some certificates for Board of Education Recognition Week. So we would like to honor Mr. William Zau, Miss Melissa Thompson. There you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Larry Cohen. Miss Betsy Dennis. Miss Jennifer Edge. Miss Christine Galbo. Mr. Frank Garnott. Miss Georgia Patchen, and Miss Mary Beth Stevens. And again, we'd just like to thank you for all that you do for Beacon City School District.
Please extend our appreciation to the Student Council on behalf of the Board of Education. Next, we'd like to invite Mrs. Kim Atwell of the Beacon Teachers Association. Why is that? We go along. Next thing you know, we'll see. Come on up. This is the president of the Beacon Education Administrators Association.
I'd like to have the administrative team come out with me. No, we're not going to bum rush you. It has been said that serving on a school board has been described as the toughest volunteer job in America. As members of the Board of Education, you have dedicated countless personal hours to attend meetings and school functions, and have endured hours of preparation for making decisions that ultimately affect our students, staff, and school districts. You have developed policies and made tough decisions that help shape the future of our district. And all of this is done without any monetary compensation. You have tackled such issues as the 2% tax cap, the Regents reform agenda, the adoption of new policies, and the revision of many outdated policies. And probably the most daunting task you have encountered has been replacing the many central and building administrators over the past few years. As members of the Board of Education, you are often scrutinized and criticized for your decision-making. Yet, it is because of your dedication and concern for our school district you continue to make decisions that are in the best interest of the students, staff, community, and school district. Last year at this time, I stated to you that we, the administrators in this district, are the workhorses of the district who have carried out your vision, goals, and policies. This became evident over the past few years when you and the administrative team worked together to overcome some very difficult times. Overcoming last year's tenuous budget hearings, central administration decisions, and the adoption of the APPR were examples of the professional relationship our administrative unit had with you to keep the district moving in the right direction. I consider all of us a team with a vision to make Beacon a better place for learning. At times, being a Board of Education member or an administrator is a thankless job. But in the end, it is our students who make it all worth it. Seeing the successes of our schools and students is the rewards we all seek. With more difficult economic times that lie ahead, it is going to be essential that we continue as a team to be fiscally responsible while meeting the needs of our students. The 2% tax cap has not gone away. You are once again faced with potential cost-reducing measures that will affect students and program. This is a time when you will need to rely on administrators to give you accurate information to develop a budget that is reasonable and will support student achievement. Decisions from that information will not be easy and may be unpopular. As administrators, we are willing and anxious to be a part of the budget process. As someone who has been in this district for over 30 years, it is wonderful to see progress being made and a vision for the future to make Beacon a better place. This is something I have not seen in a number of years. On behalf of the BEA, it is a pleasure and an honor to recognize you for your dedication to the students and school district. Thank you for all you do. Thanks.
We appreciate the administrative team coming out this evening and all your continuing hard work on behalf of the students, teachers, and staff. Mr. Warren, do you have any suggestions for who goes next?
We can all leave it.
Thanks, Eric. And I'd like to start by thanking all the teachers who are here tonight. I know after a long day, I'm looking around, noticing a lot of teachers here living in Beacon, but we do have some folks that have traveled from a further distance. So thanks to the teachers for coming. Well, hi. And I'm going to start tonight on behalf of the Beacon Teachers Association. We want to take this opportunity tonight to acknowledge our Board of Education. As school board members, you voluntarily take on the enormous role of governing our school district as you develop policies and make formidable decisions on educational, financial, and social issues which impact our entire community. As citizen leaders, you face complex and demanding challenges throughout the course of the year, year after year, yet few fully understand the scope and far-reaching implications of a Board of Education's responsibilities. You consult on legal issues as well as remain steadfast with the ever-changing educational shifts and demands, while ultimately ensuring that our students are afforded the best opportunity to receive a great education. Your role as board members at times may go unnoticed or are unappreciated by some who otherwise do not have a full understanding of the commitment, the time, and dedication each of you puts forth on behalf of the district. As you are all aware, we have entered into an unprecedented climate in education with many changes, challenges, and deadlines which at times seems unreasonable, all of which forces us to look at education through a different lens. So with that said, we must have a shared vision, be forward-looking, and truly commit to working together to ensure the highest quality of education and student achievement for our children in Beacon. The change, it's here, it's evident, and it's moving at record speeds for all of us. Now, I'm going to date myself a little bit here. However, when I think about an analogy that would best describe all of this new stuff that we're dealing with, and the new requirements, the mandates, and especially how quickly it's all moving, I think back to a TV series quite some time ago, and some of you on the board, I'm sure, will know what this one is, and some of you may not. It's an I Love Lucy episode, and if you recall the episode, and Bill's shaking his head, he probably knows which one it is, but it is so indicative of kind of what we're going through. And it's when Lucy and Ethel were working at a chocolate factory, and so the chocolates are coming out, and they're doing great. You know, they're wrapping them up, and they're putting them in on the way they go, and so they think everything's good, and all of a sudden the conveyor belt starts to go a little faster and faster, and then they start putting stuff everywhere. So I think of that a lot, and when people that are not in the business ask me, so what's this really all about? What's it like? And I'm like, well, you know I Love Lucy, right? And the people that are my age and older know, and some of the new folks may not remember. But it's kind of neat when you think of it that way. So we're just going to tell more people to come to the conveyor belt and help out, and that's I think how we're going to get through it anyway. In closing, the BTA greatly appreciates your dedication and support for our students and staff, especially during some of the tricky times over the past years. It is obvious that you care and that you value strong leadership, as it is evidenced in the appointments of our interim superintendent, Mr. Hilberg, and our interim assistant superintendent, Dr. Walkley. So for those decisions, we are most grateful, as we are now moving as fast as the chocolates. This weekend, I began reading a book on mentoring, and in the book, there was a quote that really jumped off the page. And it stated, if you want to travel fast, travel alone. But if you want to travel far, travel together. And so we are thankful for your support and service to our district and look forward to a continued positive relationship as we continue to focus on our journey, our goals, and most importantly, on improving student achievement together. In recognition for all that you do, the BTA would like to present a small token of appreciation to all of you. Thank you. And Donna and Amy, they're going to... Thanks, folks. It's not chocolate.
Our board clerk would like to read the proclamation.
It's from the Governor of the State of New York. Whereas each school year, School Board Recognition Week is observed by the more than 700 school boards in school districts throughout the Empire State, and whereas the men and women serving as members of school boards are dedicated to children, learning, and community, and devote many hours of service to elementary and secondary public education as they continually strive for improvement, excellence, and progress in education. And whereas the members of New York's local school boards respond to the educational needs of the communities they serve, and in doing so, these leaders help strengthen our state's educational system and improve future prospects for our children. And whereas during October 29th through November 2nd, special activities and programs will be held in communities across New York State in observance of School Board Recognition Week, and it is fitting to join in acknowledging the commitment and contributions of members of local school boards. Now, therefore, I, Andrew M. Cuomo, Governor of the State of New York, do hereby proclaim October 29th, 2012 through November 2nd, 2012 as School Board Recognition Week in the Empire State.
Kelly and I are going to sing a little song together. We'd like to present a plaque and a pen to each board member. Start with our board president, Melissa Thompson.
We don't want to make Kelly walk. We can come to you, Kelly.
Oh, that's okay. We can do that. We have the new guy, Bill Zoff, Vice President. Larry Cohn. Jennifer Ridge. Christine Galbo. Frank, I had this left over from last year, so you just have to change the date. I hope you don't mind. Frank Garnott. And George Paget. We truly appreciate the fine board team, and we look forward to having a very productive year together, so thank you again. At this time, are there anyone else that would like to say a few words? We'd like to invite everyone into the dining hall, the party room. Thank you, Larry, for some cake and refreshments. Thank you very much.